So I will be helped by Grace as secretary and also Mas Rizal as the recorder. Okay, Mas Rizal. Okay, I will share the screen. Okay, Mas Rizal. Okay, recorded. Wait, wait. Wrong share screen. Okay, can anyone see the screen? Oh, good. Okay. Wait, so loading on my side. Okay. Is Sinta already have the access to the Trello? Can you see the Trello, Sinta?
It says word not found.
Okay. Do you have any Trello account?
This one, not yet.
Okay. So I will just share my whole screen then. Okay. So this is our Trello board. So basically, this is where we are doing our whole projects and campaign here. So and let's start with the campaign of partnership campaign from MI1 on and WhatsApp campaign online sourcing. So the update is here. So the update is here. The final update is the upper funnel is currently not producing any upper funnels. So but the response meeting and deal we have current the funnel is moving and we got one long-term partnership deal from this campaign. So this is from in Ubud. This is an old lead that reached out to me basically. So it has been followed up by Mawana, and I believe it's on process for signing the contract ya. Mo over to Mawana.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Uber Nadi is like in the process of the signing contract.
Yep. Okay. Okay, good. Does anyone have any discussion for this topic for this card? Okay, over to Jing.
Okay, as we talked about in the last discussion, normally I do the strategic opportunity and strategic threat detection. Aldo, what you're going to need to do as chair is to really bring that out, that sort of perception out from your team. So I would toss that question around a few times to make sure that specifically, let's see if anybody can see if there's anything to be seen, or if there's nothing, if it's all okay. Yeah?
Okay. Okay, over to everyone. Do you have anything to be discussed on this card? Maybe over to Mas Rizal.
Okay, I see this campaign basically have three best performance right now. Have three partnership deals, and I believe from the upper funnel is basically there's no movement, and as we discussed before, if it is have a best performance, we have to prioritize. So the upper funnel have to always running, always moving, something like that. And basically, I asked offer to Aldo. Is there any property type of property that we can easily move into a long term deal, basically, like these leads or the previous leads?
Okay, so from these leads, I think I see why this is converted because the owner is currently like already some like we call is like giving up for managing their property, so that's why they coming back to us. So I think the best property that we can convert to long partnership is if we can see that if the owner is like already like try everything and doesn't convert anything, so that is the kind of partner would like to reach out for long-term partnership. Okay, over
Okay,
to
that's fine.
over to Mas Gani.
Okay, thank you, Aldo. So I have a question regarding the funnel and stage. So I understanding is Bill is joined with us as a canvasser and Berta. So I believe both of them will in charge on the upper funnel, the phone list. Is it
Yep.
correct? So we supposed to be see their name on the
I see. Yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. So far, what I can see is Mas Rizal on the upper funnel. So what we can see is Mas Rizal in charge on the upper funnel. So
yep,
yeah, in the reality, we have two more canvasser, right? So
yep. For that thing, I think yeah, we need to have a clear visibility of the canvassing from Alberta and also Bill from the online sourcing. But maybe I will have a sub discussion with Mas Rizal to see how could we separate the deals coming from offline sourcing and also online sourcing. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, Mrs. Secretary, please record that on the activity. Anyone have any discussion for this paper, for this card? Mo, no? Grace, no, Jing? Do you have anything to be discussed, Jing? No?
Yeah. Here's what I would look for. Every time we succeed, we should ask ourselves, could we succeed the same way again using whatever principle that got us there, right? So if we see this long-term deal come in, all of a sudden for somebody who reached out again, what is it that they did that for, right? What do we know about their purpose? I think you mentioned earlier, I heard this, but I wasn't sure if it was specifically for this deal, that they gave up trying to manage the property.
Yep.
Now, if you know that that's it's kind of like if you can catch one fish using a certain bait, you can probably catch more fish using the same bait. That would be a complete feedback cycle. That would be a closed loop cycle. So what I would start investigating is this. If you know what the message is now that people need to hear, or they're telling you what their message is, then can you circulate that back up to the top of funnel for the awareness? Do you feel like giving up because it's just too much to operate your property during? Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
That message is your clue to how to go back up to the top of funnel and get more people like that.
Yeah.
Now, it could be a fluke. A fluke means it just happened one time, but it could be a trend. It means it's maybe more and more people feel the same way. If it's a trend, then you have effectively taken the output and put it back into the input, and that's how most marketing will succeed, right? Not by creating things that work, but by just taking that output, putting it back in the input. I would think about that. I would think about how to change the top of funnel on outreach or on the messaging part to get that there.
Yep. Okay. So, I believe that kind of message can be tested and can be worked out not only on this campaign, also maybe on the other campaign
Absolutely.
like Facebook ads and any campaign that we have right now.
Brilliant.
Grace, can you record it also on the activity about that discussion? Okay. Anything to be discussed again on phone and WhatsApp campaigns? Okay, over to Mas Gani.
Mr. Chair, we have guest here.
Yep. I will call the guest after we finish this one cut.
I think.
Okay, over to Grace.
Sorry, what was
Okay.
what was his discussion about?
So it's about using the messaging for the upper funnel for this campaign and also another campaign messaging for the partner that the behavior of give up partner. Yep. Okay, so if there's no discussion for this card, we'll move on to another cards. But before we go, we'd like to offer to our guest, Mas Andy. Do you have anything to be discussed?
Okay, good morning everyone. So yeah, thank you for the time, Aldo. Yeah, actually, I heard the first campaign, your partnership campaign,
Yep.
and actually that's very interesting. That I would like to offer a collaboration actually, like because I saw mostly this like the top funnel on my new campaign. Actually, I called my new campaign is partnership opportunities. So I saw on marketing they're working more on the top funnel of my campaign. It's kind of like a fun temp partner and a long term partner, right? And then like actually in community we like to help as well to convert more on the long term partner from the temporary partner.
Okay.
Uh, so you can just give us the contact or the list of the temporary partner. Then we would like to have to more engage with the temporary partner. So they will maybe they can change their mind to what's called to get the long term partner like that. So yeah, like about the messaging as well. Maybe I'll just little comment for the messaging. This is good if you get a one long-term partner. Then for the next, you can use that long-term partner as a communication to the temp partner. You can say like, "Hey, we just partnership with this villa. Maybe do you know this villa or this owner like that?" And then she or he is working with us. Maybe you would like to try again, also like this villa or something. So you can use as a reference like that to convert the long-term partner. So yes, yeah, I would like to offer on collaboration campaign actually.
Yep. Okay. So my screen is kind of freezing right now. Could I delegate this to maybe Jing that has double screen?
Sure. Okay, let's do this then. I'll share my screen.
Okay. Would you mind? Okay. Wait. Okay. So Tandy have a recent strat of offering a collaboration. Share screen. Okay. Um, so Mas Tandy have offered to collaboration opportunity with marketing for new campaign to convert a long-term deal from short-term or maybe uh, helping to convert in general. So I think it's a great idea that we can use our friend from community to help us with our work. And I think the opportunity is for more maybe for the short term that to be converted to long term. I think it's a clearer and a great idea for me, but let's circulate around to see if you guys have any idea about this thread. Over to Mas Gani first, maybe.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting, but I need check the art description of the master degree. Please keep first. I'd like to observe first the card of Thomas.
Okay, Jim, would you mind to open the card that attached on the link from the chat? Okay, it's okay. Already opening, yeah.
So from my understanding from the partnership opportunities card here, that on the marketing we just give the temporary partner list, and then it will be contacted by Rose, and Rose will have discussion with the owner, So the messaging on the community. So marketing just give the list. Is it correct, Mas Andy? Oh, I see. So we just keep the list. We just keep the list, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So okay. I believe from the temporary partner list, I don't know. Perhaps I can recommend Mas Rizal as he managed the temporary partnership list or open for discussion.
Yep. Over to Mas Rizal. What do you think about this?
Okay, I think this is a great idea, and probably my suggestion is we can prioritize. So because at the first, from me or Wayana is already scanning in which partner that have potential for long-term partner and still zero potential for long-term partner. So we can at from this campaign basically we can prioritize in which leads that will have a potential on that leads basically. And that's first my suggestion. And then is basically this funnel will okay from A and B is on
Uh,
marketing side and C D E is from the community side, right? For Cuma Sandy.
Okay, thank you, Rizal. Yeah, actually, maybe in the first, I would like to know. You said there's like a potential and non-potential, right? So maybe in community, we would like to know as well, like what type of the partner that have potential and not potential, because maybe if not potential, maybe with our effort, maybe that's a challenge actually that maybe we can convert it to the long term like or maybe yeah, I just want to know like what kind partner of like a potential and not potential, so first like that.
Okay, I believe this will be long discussion. Maybe on the next we have a sub discussion with Mas Andy, me, and Wayana to discuss with.
Sure. Okay. Anything to add from Wayana? No.
I think I agree. Let's have better this sub discussion, introduce Sandy what we have, and then from there what we can do.
Yep. Great. From Jing. Yeah.
Okay. When you have a commitment to have a sub discussion, that's an activity. What is the result, right?
Yep.
This is what I think the result should be. You guys should have an SLA, right? What is the SLA now between community and marketing at the point? What is it that community expects to get? How frequently do they expect to get it? And of what quality? Generally, Tendi, if you go to, let's say, Nadine's side, right, which is sort of an inquiry classification, or even looking at finance, right, it's usually a pretty simple process. The first is count the total number of temporary leads, right? The second is classify which go into which bucket. You don't want to spend a lot of your good time with leads that are not any good. So I would classify into leads are temporary partnerships that can be optimized, temporary partnerships that should not be optimized, and categorize your things. Prioritize, right? The next is your training programs, right? What do you want to do? Do you want to create a social media thread? Do you want to put them on a mailing list? Whatever activity it is you think will convert them into a long-term partnership. I would say draw each stage out, think of what KPIs you want, and then you need to delegate between your chapter attendee and this chapter. Where does the SLA stand? Is it after selection? Is it before? Who decides which partnerships they should go after? Okay, and that I think will be the result of your sub discussion. There should be a clear SLA afterwards. I think this is good. I think this is a great. This is revolutionary. We've never really thought of what happens after. You know, everyone just kind of throws it over and then forget about it later. But this is good. This then creates feedback cycles, Tendi, to then go back and you can say, hey, look, just like what we did just a moment ago with Aldo, with understanding if this type of messaging produces this type of partner, The same thing we can do with partnerships right now. What kind of long-term partners do you see? What do they really value? Why didn't they understand it before, and why did they choose temporary before? And what messaging should we change so that when we message in the future, our messaging is more effective in the future, okay? Tandy, you can hang around because I'm going to have a discussion about moments of truth. And I think this part is going to be pretty important because Gani, Aldo, and Rizal, still to this day, I think a lot of times we see things from our perspective, right? What are our moments of truth with a partner? But what are their moments of truth? Meaning, like, when do they actually start really wondering, should I really be working with Bukit Vista, right? And what I want us to all explore is, what does that process actually look like? What does that process actually feel like? And Tandy, you should hang around for that one because that will help you understand also the process of onboarding a partner, okay? All right, back to the chair.
Okay, thank you for the presentation of the idea, Mas Tendi. I believe this idea has a borrowing from our our chapter. So the next thing is that Mas Rizal, Mawayana, and Mas Tendi will have a sub discussion to arrange how can we visualize and also have actionables for this campaign. Yep. Okay, so let's go back to our Trello board. Thank you, Mas Tendi. If you want to hang around, please do. Okay, that is all from MI1, and let's go to MI7. Field canvassing, over to Mas Rizal for updates.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. From my update is okay. From A and B funnel, new leads coming from Nusa Dua, but not many leads from that area basically, because like previous, there's a lot of villa that close at the moment. And from the C funnel, there's increasing percentage from the meeting side. So basically, Sila is also Alberta Sila is working on the meeting funnel also, and I believe she has high motivation and have competency basically because yesterday at the Sunday morning she's still following up the leads and have have contact with me, and there's leads also that will move into deal because she already discuss and negotiate about the price. And yeah, I think that's from the C funnel. And from the D funnel, decrease the percentage of the temporary deal, but we got a new temporary deal from Aldo, which is Villa Purnama Bali. And yeah, basically just that. And if you can see the percentage, the numbers is going up, but not for the deal is decreasing for now. Yeah, I think that just that from from me. Back to Mr. Chair.
Okay, I think it's a great movement of the funnel because the AB funnel is moving around, and yeah, I think that's all good for me. Anyone have any discussion for this card? Okay, over to you.
Let me turn it over to Kadek, our new person here.
Okay.
Kadek, do you see any issues with this particular funnel? Do you see anything that is good, bad, or commentable?
Yeah, I'm not very familiar yet with everything you guys just talked about, but I think I'm starting to learn a bit later, hopefully.
Okay. Let's go back to, I don't know, let's go to Grace then, maybe. Grace, do you see anything interesting about this funnel?
The owner contact is not increasing, equals to
Okay,
zero.
good.
But
That's
there's
good.
still,
That's good insight.
but there's still increase in meeting and temporary in meeting.
That is interesting. Yeah, the B funnel isn't moving. Okay, very good. Let's go to Tendi. Tendi, what do you see about this particular funnel?
Um, I think the partnership
Okay.
it's not convert yet until now, and then need to know like why.
Right. That's actually very interesting too, as well. Actually, because why is it that field canvassing doesn't get us any permanent partnerships, whereas the online canvassing gets us permanent partnerships? That's a good question, right? Okay. All right. Aldo, what am I doing?
Yep.
Aldo, what am I doing?
What are you doing
Yeah, what am I doing?
for?
Right now, like just a few moments ago, what am I
Yeah,
doing?
I think discovering the things that we could do and things that going on this card.
Right. And I'm also testing ZPD out for everybody, right?
Yep.
And that's how we get like more, that's how we understand what our teammates understand. And that's how we understand what our teammates don't understand. That was actually really good. We all found something different that was sort of outside of the ZPD of some other people. I did not see what Grace brought up. I did not see what Tendi brought up. But I did see something else. Let me go ask Rizal. Rizal, why has Bill's number gone up by 5 and the overall number only gone up by 3?
Uh, uh,
So okay. Yep, that's my mistake. Okay, thank you, sir. From the A funnel, from yeah, basically there's increasing tree of new leads, basically. Yep, and from the for the A1 bill, basically I don't add from the Friday, so
Yeah,
I
I
just
thought.
accumulate, yeah. So
Okay, so that,
I just adding to basically to elements on that bills. So yeah, that's
okay,
yeah. Maybe that's not clear yet.
yeah.
yep.
So A
So
should always equal A1 plus A2.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right? The total number of total increase should be
yeah,
equal to the bottom 2 increases. Okay,
yep.
that part's good.
Yeah.
Really good also, by the way, I was really happy to see that you divided Bill and Scylla. That's pretty good so that we can see more clearly. You should probably also divide that across the entire pathway so that later it becomes easier to understand how each person is doing actually.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so I would think about your meetings now. How many meetings do come from Bill's side, and how many meetings are coming from Scylla's side?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. From that, from Jing's discovery, I also I think discover something because Alberta and I believe Alberta and Bill also working on the negotiation, and I believe so. We also need to put their work on C funnel
Okay.
Yes.
too.
Okay, Mr. Chair. Basically, I want to invite Bill basically to practice the negotiation skill and attending our scrum today. But I don't see he come to the base basically. But for the Sila, I believe she have a high motivation. So at this week, I will onboard her to cover negotiation and also field canvassing. Yeah,
Yep.
basically just that. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yep. Yeah, I believe they should also join our scrum to see what's going on our plate. Yeah. Over to Jing.
What do we know about their motivation if they're not here at the scrum then, Aldo? Result?
Okay, sir. For the Sila basically si apa namanya? She not she have finished the trials on Saturday basically.
Oh.
Yeah. So at this moment I cannot uh, apa namanya? Ask to join because she
Oh.
not onboarded yet.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
This is not on board yet.
That's a great test of motivation. Is this person inherently motivated, or I would not think of it as this way. I would think of it as if they're really interested, they would just want to kind of come by to see what's going on, right? That's inherent motivation. If it's external motivation, it's more like if I'm not being paid, then I shouldn't come. As a host, I would always say it's probably default better just to invite anyway. And it's your guests. Then you know, then you have some feedback, right? Then you know whether or not they really want to come for the correct reason. If they can't come, then maybe their motivation isn't that super high, right? If they can come, then it means their motivation is really good. Think about a job that you really want, right? If they just say, "Hey, come by and hang out with the rest of our team," you'd probably go, right? That would be like, great. It seems like I'm getting closer. So I would think about that way. Always leave room for a test, and that is room for a test.
Over to Mas Gani.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sir. So I just realized something on the funnel update as well about from the A funnel because it's okay. We learn together, but I also learned from this as well from the A funnel field canvassing leads is 143, but when we break down A2 plus A1 plus A2 is just 43. So 100 is very coming from, is it from previously? From
Yeah.
Yeah, we should also add the canvassing that from us also.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the discovery, everyone. Any discussion again?
I'm going to comment on the discovery. Everyone, you're getting much better at this now. I'm really happy to see that. Before, I think most people wouldn't even see it, right? But now when we bring it up, I think we can discover quite a lot. Almost everybody discovers something that could be improved on that. So this part is really good. Keep on doing that. Keep on keeping an eagle eye out for things that could be improved. Very good comments all the way around.
Yep. Thank you, Jing, for the information. Okay, no discussion again on this card. All good? All good. Okay, let's move to another card. Okay, let's move to website campaign. Over to Mas Gani for the updates.
Thank you, Mr. Chat. So I just update from this card. So we just get increase the page view, but it's just a very short amount of page view. But then we just got one new leads coming from the type form. So the total we got 14 leads sign up on all landing pages. But then the meeting and the deals is still stuck. And the updated, what I'd like to say is I'm still focused on migrating process. Already recorded on the landing page journal, but then I doesn't have enough bandwidth to increase the traffic as at the same time. So yeah, perhaps this month I just focus on the improving the site. So yeah, yes, over to Jing.
Okay, I have a great opportunity for delegation here. Okay, so check this out, everyone. Right now, Gani has traffic on landing page. Okay, so that one is actually Rizal's SLA, correct, Rizal? Okay, this can be broken down into many components, ladies and gentlemen, right? If you can imagine, traffic on landing page can be A1, organic traffic to landing page. A2, paid search traffic to landing page. A3, event traffic to landing page. A4, referral traffic to landing page. A5, you can just getting very creative with that. And then who's in charge of the campaign? Gani, right?
Yes, sir, me.
So then what you can do is you can start creating delegate cards on internship campaigns for interns, okay? That would be essentially how you can parallel delegate. Now, Rizal is in charge. You're the campaign champion, but Rizal's actually in charge of bringing traffic. So Rizal can actually start delegating. All right, I have a campaign for organic traffic. I need you as an intern to start improving our organic traffic. This is what you'll do. Backlinks is what actually creates us more organic traffic. We're going to look at the organic traffic coming from SEO. We're going to look at the number of backlinks you create. We're going to look at the later traffic right there, right? So that's how you would parallel delegate all these things out, and you would maintain control of your campaign, but you would involve more people in at parallel on an SLA to start adding more traffic to it. You can do that for everything, right? You can do that for, let's say, field canvassing, Field canvassing, you split into different regions right now. I believe that's what you're doing, right? You can do that for, let's say, even online search. Maybe one person searches Russian websites, right? See if there's any Russian villas on Russian websites. Maybe one person searches Chinese websites. See, is there any Chinese villas on Baidu Maps or anything? That could be a way that you delegate a particular SLA in parallel to multiple people. And that would be easy to monitor because you would just see what's the input, what's the output, and you would know what success looks like. Put people on different missions, okay? That's an example of what I did over there on the internship campaign. I think you can see it on the undercard. I created M13A.1, and that is essentially what you would delegate to somebody, and then they would be able to add value to your campaign and add energy to your campaign. Johnny, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any comment from others regarding this card?
Okay, over to Mas Rizal for the separation. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I just agree about from Jing's idea. Basically, we can break down the awareness funnel into the small chunk using SEO, off-page SEO or SEO activity or from referral activity. Yeah, I just agree with that idea.
Yep. Okay. And anyone wants to discuss about this card? All good from Grace or Sinta? All good. Okay. Okay. I think that's all for the partnership campaign. There is revenue campaign, I believe. Do we want to update this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should.
Okay. Okay. MY.1 Instagram conversion optimization. Okay. Over to Grace.
Yes, for the Instagram conversion for the MY1, the ratio is increasing, although the impressions is decreasing from because we don't have ad anymore. And then for this card, I just found out from when I was having a discussion with Lilis also that there are false data about the inquiry, so I will fix it today.
Okay. Okay. So there's some discussion from Mas Dani and also Grace here. Is this discussion all good, or do we need to broad this discussion here? Okay, all good. Okay. Anyone wants to discuss about this card before we move on to discussion management? Okay, all good ya. All good ya. From Jing, all good. Okay. Next di Facebook marketing over to Mas Dani.
Okay, so basically I just in charge on the awareness until engagement funnel on the marketing the Trello card. So I just reporting the published post and then the ratio of inquiries per post. So yeah, that's just the update. It's basically same with BI Trello.
Okay. So
Nah,
yeah. Also from Jing here, this card is just a monitor card, but the real update is from the BI if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
correct.
Okay. Okay. If there's no discussion about this card, I'll move to discussion management. Okay. All good. Okay. Let's move to discussion management. So Mas Tendi's card is already done. Let's move to Jing's first, the hospitality moment of truth. Over to Jing.
Okay, so this, I think, is a really important part of everything we do in marketing. And it actually addresses Gani's question. I was inspired to write this based on reading what Gani wrote. So remember everybody we've talked to so far, our team, okay? Remember Andrew Shapiro, right? Creative director at Airbnb a long time ago. Remember any of the marketing people we talked to, Bernardo, at the last one. I forgot, what was her name? The one that Tara brought here. Both of those guys from the digital marketing at AdGlow, they all emphasize one common thing, which is you really need to understand the user. You really need to understand the customer very well. Aldo working on product probably hears that a lot too. And it's true. If you don't really understand the user, you're not going to be that effective marketing. So what I want to kind of bring us to is this, right? I would advise everybody to read this story here, this story that I have a link for. It's essentially the idea of how Airbnb pretty much plotted out all the moments of truth during a user journey. What I like to get to, and this is something I'd like to talk with Tendi as well, is what are the moments of truth for a partner? What are the moments of truth for a guest? Let's open up the top one there, right? There's a picture up in the discussion section. I'll sort of bring it up, right? I'll guide you guys through it. So, oh yeah.
Can you share the screen again?
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Okay. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll bring you guys through essentially what a guest journey looks like, right? This was really interesting because this is what Andrew, and oh guys, do you remember a long time ago, what was the name of the Indian guy who we talked to? He did the social media marketing at Airbnb. We wrote a blog post about him, but we didn't do a video. And you guys remember?
Yeah, I
remember the face, but forget the name.
Yeah, what was his name?
One of your old friend, right?
Using
Yeah.
Phil, I think the name.
Yeah, he told us about how Airbnb did the PR campaigns in Europe, remember? And okay, long story short, this is the output of the work. So what they did was they started tracking the moments of truth for each guest. So here's a guest, right? They're two friends, two female friends. They have separate lives, and then they go out on a cocktail party and they discover, oh yeah, there's this idea of Airbnb. Okay, great. So then they started thinking about, oh my God, think of all the really amazing places we can travel to. And then it starts becoming more real when they start picking dates, okay? And then they discuss over the phone which dates would suit both of them. They book the trip, and then they start their journey, right? They get together, they start making some arrangements, they go to the airport. This is the host greeting them at the entrance. This is their check-in. This is the first meaningful moment, first meaningful engagement they have with the host, sharing a dinner. The host takes them out to see the rest of the city. They pack up, they travel back, they leave a review, and then they come back and tell their friends about what an amazing trip they had, right? So these are your moments of truth. And these are the moments where you start trying to create a funnel around, right? As a marketer, how many points did you get to this point? How many times did you get to this point? How many points did you get to this point? That's on the guest side journey. On the, oops, did I copy the same thing twice? Okay, I was a retard. There was another one actually for our host side journey. But it's a similar process for a host side journey. This is the key to marketing, really, and this is the one thing that we haven't really done often. We have not tried to understand what does the journey look like from their perspective. What does the journey look like from that? So this is my exercise, actually. This is my challenge. What I'd like you guys to do, right, for everyone here is write your moments of truth for, let's just say for partners at this point, right? And next week, we can do it for guests. So what do you think are the partners' moments of truth? How do they first discover us? What are they thinking about when they consider Bukit Vista versus something else? What is their first meaningful engagement? The first time they get paid, maybe the first payment dispute, the first time they check in guests, maybe it's the first time that a guest has a serious complaint, maybe it's the first time that something breaks on the property. These are all moments of truth that the partner goes through that if you don't really understand, you won't really understand what motivates them to actually want to be your customer, okay? So let's give an example. I think I did some moments of truth here. And, also you guys should probably check this out too, right? This is the guest journey and owner journey. Here's essentially like a sample moment of truth. So the partner, first moment is they sign up. Second moment is the first time they receive an actual payment, right? Big deal for them. They didn't know that this could work, right? Now it's working. So it's a moment of truth. First time, maybe the payment doesn't go as planned, right? First time they have a difficult guest. First time they have a utility failure. Something doesn't work. Wi-Fi doesn't work. Internet doesn't work. Maybe the power doesn't work. Water goes down. First time staffing problem, right? Maybe there's missing money in the property. What to do about it? Who took the money, right? First time, maybe there's a pricing concern. Oh my God, you're pricing too cheap, Bukit Vista. What should you do? So these are very reliable. We know that these happen, and this is where community and marketing need to work together to really find out what are the moments of truth so that we can address this. Gani, when you can address these things, you can create very, very good messaging, right? Because you know that these are what gives meaning to the person's experience. They're not interested in, maybe they're not so interested in like saving money. Oh, we only charge 10% commissions. Maybe it's like, you know what? Work with Bukit Vista and never again have to miss a family holiday because you're checking in a guest. Yeah, could be interesting, right? Work with Bukit Vista and never wonder if your neighbors will do better than you, right? That could be actually what they consider a moment of truth. Oh my God, I'm getting more guests than my neighbor, right? That's a moment of truth for them. So try to plot down all the milestones, everyone, what you think a partner's milestones are. And then after you've done that, go over and try to think of it for guests. What are the guest milestones, right? What are their moments of truth where they feel like, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Or this place sucks. This isn't what I'm looking for. But you got to have those mapped out. Okay, that's an exercise. We can discuss a little bit about the exercise here, but the exercise I think can be done and just report it by Friday. What I'm also suggesting is this, that there is another exercise here for what we've laid out to be the marketing funnel or the marketing journey. What happens first, what happens next. I believe Aldo has seen it with Rizal and Wayana just before Halloween, but I don't think everybody's seen it. So please take a look at that particular journey and add or suggest what we're missing onto the journey, because this, once you understand the user journey, then we can make sure that all our work is focused on the right things and not just on what we believe should work or should not work. Okay, that's my message. Back to the chair.
Okay, thank you, Jing, for the message and also for the challenge and exercise. I believe everyone could do this partner journey for by Friday, yeah. And is there anything to be discussed on these two discussion from Jing? All good?
Okay.
All good from everyone? All good? Okay, let's go to Mas Gani's thread then on the discussion above. Okay, Mas Gani, marketing leaders. I believe it's from Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, over to Mas Gani for explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I write it down. This my opinion based on the Jing's thread before about low density of apa namanya leadership density and talent density, right? So I just try to respond it, and that's my opinion for that. And one point that I feel that it's a little bit difficult is when the marketing leader is in charge top of the funnel, both BD and sales. So in here, I my concern is just on the people, on the person. So each person has different BD, has different skill, has a different mindset as well. So when I because I feel that this point. So at the other side, I have to in charge it on the Airbnb, Facebook, and Instagram. But the other side, I have to manage the website thing. So I have to do two side of funnel. So yeah, I feel it's a bit difficult when the person in charge is both on both sides. So it will be a big workload, and since it have different focus areas. And so yeah, what I is propose or suggest is it's better if we have one person but focus on this side, and the other person focus on this side, not one person focus on two side. So yeah, that's my point basically.
Okay, so how I react with this threat is maybe Jim will explain a bit more about the leadership density topic and also your reaction to Mas Gani's answer for your threat.
Okay, leadership density is essentially a question of how ready are we to have more specialization, right? If we have low leadership density, then we cannot specialize too much because essentially we need to kind of keep enough people together to focus on one thing. If we have higher leadership density, then we are more ready to specialize in many things because we know that everybody has common skills. Leadership density means a few things, really, right? It's the leadership stack that we keep on going to up here, right here. That's why I put it up at the top. How capable are we at discovering? How capable are we at prioritizing? Those are, I think, the two highest things on the leadership density. Once you get to problem solving and execution, you can see that around the chapter, that's where talent density starts coming in, right? So generally speaking, what we've seen is that it is better to keep a group into one group when there is low leadership density. But when there's high leadership density, you can have more different groups. And that, I think, just is obvious, okay? So my response to this is two things. I think this would be good if we have high leadership density at the moment, right? If we have enough leadership density, I think these could be separate things just for clarity's sake, right? What is one thing, what is the other? Marketing, you have to remember though, Gani, marketing is top of funnel for both sides, actually, right? It's the layer of the funnel is always the same. It's always awareness and consideration. And that thematically is correct, right? Because when you think of marketing, it's a little bit like, think of great artists, Gani, like Da Vinci, Picasso, I don't know, Michelangelo, right? Michelangelo wasn't just a painter. He was also a sculptor. He was also a sketch artist. He could do many different things, right? He was fundamentally an artist, and his medium, whether it was stone, oil, canvas, watercolors, was just simply another way to express what he wanted to do, right? So the actual truth is this, Gani. At some later point in the history of Bukit Vista, if we ever get there, what you should see is this. This is what happens at Gojek, for example. You should see essentially, let's say, for even guests, there should be specialists working with different types of guests, right? These are our Western European guests, and we have a marketing specialist who dedicates themselves to understanding Western European guests, what their habits are, their personas, their journey, and how that's different from Australian guests, and how that's different from United States guests, and how that's different from Indonesian guests, and how that's different from Chinese guests, right? Gojek has that degree of specialization. In fact, they have, I mean, you can just count how many Instagram accounts they have. They have many, each addressing a different audience at a different stage. So that is eventually, yes, I think an end state. But you are in the very beginning of this process, right? So you're gonna have to think, do you think like a leader or do you think like a specialist, okay? A leader starts understanding thematically that all marketing is essentially the same in a way, right? Whether it's a guest or a partner, it's really about understanding who that customer is. If you really want to develop a really strong, let's say, guest side funnel, you would have to do the very same thing as you do right now. You have to think about, how do I actually understand each segment of my guests better so that I can expertise on it, so I can put one person or multiple people on each team. Right now, really, you only have two types of customers. You only have a partner side and you have a general guest side partner. I would think about the focus, since the team is small, not to get too specialized, but how to think of how to delegate, actually, Gani. How to create, let's say, the overall, unless you don't want to actually get promoted when you produce, right? What you're asking for at this moment is you're asking for specialization. You're asking to move away from leadership and more into a specialist role. What I'm trying to push you into is to think more like a leader and think of like how to actually think broadly about this. If you can start doing this, if you can take, let's say, one idea, split it into two, another idea, split it into two, you can be a leader. If you can't, and then you work your way all the way into a particular corner, you're not a leader, you're a specialist, right? This is, I think, this is a choice after all. You got to decide what you really are, actually. Are you a leader? Or are you a specialist? But this is more of a specialization type thinking. What I'm suggesting is you should take on a more leadership approach to thinking. And then that really then gets to the point that I made below. How do you actually understand each category, not B2B, but just customer to marketer? That's all that really matters. Remember, actually going back to eTalk 7 too as well, this is a very, very good question too as well, okay? It's a very good question. Ferdy, Bernardo, Samantha, and I forgot the last few people, Bonnie, right, and then Dewey. They had very different opinions about what is marketing, right? Is marketing B2B the same as B2C? Three of them said it's essentially the same. It's all about understanding your customer, knowing what to market to them, and then being very in touch. Ferdy said it's different because it has a longer cycle, right? And there's more stakeholders. So he brought out the nuance to it, which is interesting. The nuances here are very, very subtle, right? The guest side thing, have we actually really understood the guest persona? Have we interviewed guests, understand what their moments of truth are? Have we really understood the property owner persona, right? So whether it's B2B or B2C, I don't think we really understood what our users are actually thinking, what they're actually considering, what they're actually doing, right? So that I think it needs to start with that question first. That is the master skill of marketing, understanding your customer to the T. Okay. I do understand things are busy, and that's good. But if you want to remain in a leadership position, think about how to delegate things down, right? Not how to like specialize yourself into a corner. That's the difference between general knowledge and specific knowledge. Okay. All right. Back to the chair.
Okay, Aldo is permission to toilet, so delegate to me. Okay, over to Mas Gani. Do you have something to add about the Jing start?
No, no. I just want to clarification of the explanation. So why Jing have to push to into this way? Why not going to this way? So I just need some kind of.
And Gunny, remember, you got new people coming in, like Shinta today, right? So if what you're asking for is, if you're asking, let's say, Rizal to specialize you into a particular chapter, then you're a delegate. You're not delegating, right? But if you delegate somebody into something that you're doing, let's say that you want to delegate, let's say it's not a particular strength, but you want to delegate that, then you're delegating, so then you must be the leader, right? So think about like in terms of how that works as revolving around your leadership mindset. The more you delegate, the more of a leader you become. The more you ask to be delegated, the less of a leader you become. Okay?
Okay.
I see. Okay, so Jing's want everyone to be a leader rather than.
Well, I would prefer it would be
see.
awkward if, let's say, for example, Shinta became your boss, right? Gani, and she's thinking about strategy, and you're thinking about specifically a particular sub-focus of marketing strategy, right?
Okay,
and that's a choice that you guys have right now. That's also, by the way, that's a benefit of working at a startup, that you are able, because the company is in a growth phase that we're adding new people, you're able to attain a fairly senior role without necessarily having earned it all the way up through the promotion line, right? So take advantage of it. That's the way I think that.
Yeah. Okay, back to Aldo.
Okay, thank you Mas Rizal for covering me up. Okay, So we're a little bit over time, but I'd like to extend 5 more minutes for some final thoughts about what this discussion. So over to Mas Gani then. What do you think about after Jinx explain how is the talent density and leader density?
So yeah, I just understand more about this situation because uh, uh, especially when we start up with we trying to expand more, but we have before we got into the specialization, we have to leadership skill first, and that once when time is goes and we can expand our people more, and then we can focus more on the specialization. But first thing first, we need to understand the leadership first. So yeah, that's what I got. Okay.
Yep, thank you, Mas Gani. Maybe over to Sinta. What do you think about this talent density and also leader density? Over to Sinta.
Sorry.
So what do you think about after James explain about leader density and talent density?
Yeah. I like the idea um, of the startup that Jing mentioned. Everyone is able to speak up, and that's one of the core value in Bukit Vista, right? Step on toes.
Yep. Thank you, Sinta. Over to Grace.
Yeah, I think what Jing said also at maybe it's also talking about resource, not only about leadership and specialization.
Yep, yep. Over to Mas Gani. Mas Rizal.
Okay, I think it's pretty clear because from the previous discussion is still what is a leadership density if the leadership is not capable. But Jinx try to teach us rather than specialize your skill set, but we have to scale up our leadership to yeah. I think it's to be more bigger role at the future.
Yep, everyone should be a leader, right? Over to Moayana. Any final thoughts about this?
No, I think everyone said already.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I believe there's no any conclusion about this. It's just like an exercise and also affirmation of what we've been doing and also what we've been feeling right now in the situation. So yeah, I think that's all for our Scrum today. Thank you for everyone for coming. Sorry for the overtime. And yeah, I believe there's nothing to be discussed anymore. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Have a great lunch. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Aldo. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Aldo.
Thank you,
Jangan
Aldo.
lupa upload ya Mas Rizal.